Okay, now we're live. Okay. Talk about me again.
Well, Laura is one of my dear friends. We met, I think, the very first conference, if not before. I don't know, remember it was, but it was an instant connection, an instant friendship. She was always there for me when I was having a hard day or good day and vice versa. And we've really grown to be more than just nail bosses together, but we're friends and we're complete. I'm your side sister. I'm under Kelly France. And so I'm your distant cousin, I guess that's what it's called, or stepsister or something, whatever that lingo may be. So we're still under Kelly, and so we're side families. My backstory is my mother and her best friend used to travel the United States and share with them their organizing tips for being at-home moms and working moms back in the 80s and early 90s, where they had nothing copyrighted. This is kind of the funny punchline to the story is nothing copyrighted, but they would speak all over the United States, and they more or less invented the desk calendar, the to-do list notepads, the organizer, like our everyday organizer. Well, sure enough, a year after their big United States traveling seminars, Day Runner launched, and they found out the owner of Day Runner was one of their audience members during this time. So it was crazy. It's like, Mom, please copyright these things. We could have been Day Runner. She's like, I know. But I was raised with a mom who always had systems in place and was very intentional about staying organized. Now, we were never super organized. I'm messy. I'm messy. I'm a messy person, but it's messy organization. My office, it's either beautiful like a magazine or it looks like A&E hoarders, like one or the other. Right now, we're sliding straight into the hoarder situation. Well, after this call, I'll be fixing it. But I struggle with severe anxiety. I was diagnosed in 1999. I was put on medicine. I've been on medicine for 20 plus years for anxiety. And what I've learned through my journey of anxiety is my thoughts of the things I have to do really become paralyzing. 2 years ago, I hired a professional organizer to help me organize my workspace because I retired from teaching to work full-time Color Street. And she was really noticing I was struggling with saying, I'm busy, I have so much to do, but I could never verbalize what my things I had to do was. So she would spend an hour, which is a lot of money in organization world of private organization. And she sat me down and taught me how to get all my to-dos onto paper. Now, she told me, Amanda, for 20 minutes, sit down and write down everything. Business, family, personal, anything you have in your mind that you have to get done in your head this week, today, write it down. So now every Sunday, I sit down for 20 minutes with my coffee or a cocktail, whatever time of day it may be, and or Diet Coke or whatever, some sort of refreshing beverage. I write it down. I still do this every single thing. I will write down, prep the school lunches for the week, laundry times 5, dinner times 4, lunches times 5, breakfast times 5, samples, thank you notes, team posts, VIP posts. I write it all down. Anything that was causing me angst in my head where I couldn't calm down and I couldn't be productive, I wrote it down. I found doing this on a Sunday prepares me for the week, because what I do once I have that list, and guys, sometimes the list is 2 pages long, sometimes it's just 5 sentences or 5 jot points. But really it's getting it out of your head. And once I have that list down, I then take my block schedule sheet, which Kelly posts a nail boss.
Let me share screen real quick, and I have it pulled up.
Perfect.
I had a feeling you might mention it.
Yes, it's my.
This is her.
Yes, and I adapted it.
Made all pretty for her team.
I'm leopard, gold, black, light pink girl. So I brand it, not because I created it, but because I just like looking at leopard. And so this literal schedule, I had FedEx print me 150 of them. So that's 2.5 years worth of weekly schedules. Not saying I do this every week, but I definitely try to. but I had them mass printed, so I don't have that excuse of, I can't find my chart. I can't write it down.
Smart.
And I do everything on pencil paper. Also with my anxiety, I also am dyslexic and have a reading comprehension disorder. And through all my therapies and trainings, tutorings, for my brain to comprehend, I really have to get things onto paper. And I have to use highlighters and colors and pretty things for my brain to remember. I've been trained to read it, say it, draw it, every single thing I do in life. And so I am a pencil paper person. And yes, typing it out or having your Google Calendar or whatever is great. But for me personally, it's the literal writing it down. My brain remembers, and I can keep that log better. And heaven forbid, I can't find this thing 99.9% of the time, and it's on silent.
I will say real quick that
yes.
You guys know that I love my spreadsheets, I love my Airtable and all of that, but the part, it fails me when it comes to to-do lists. I'm the same. I have to have it written down, and I think it must be because writing it. Now the other thing is that I can't write in pen. I can't commit. I have commitment problems, so I have like a bazillion nice mechanical pencils with like the huge erasers. Yeah, so
they're the only kind I'll use.
But even me, I have to have pencil paper when it comes to that revolving list, because it's always changing, and I feel like, I don't know. I actually just bought this. You know those, what are they called? I don't even know.
It looks fancy.
Boogie board. It's a boogie board. And we're trying it out.
The ocean boogie board.
What?
It's not the ocean boogie board.
It's the professional one that's like for...
I don't even know what it is. A boogie board to me is you jump on your belly into the ocean and then
I would show you how it erases, but then I would lose my list. So I'm not going to show you that. Anyway, I'm gonna be quiet. Back to you.
Oh, you're good. And with that, I have my binders. I have a binder for everything. And I also found I love buying, this is so tangent, but I love buying things to help my business in my personal sales and my team things. So I buy things from Amanda Todd or Sherry McAllister. And they actually have binders back there. Like I have the Dot Life binder. I have my leadership and coaching binders. I have my Shop the Stock binders where I keep all my inventory. This is my personal handbook where this is where I put my schedules in here, like my charts I just showed you. And I have my charts for my team, so I still handwrite charts. But I have things all places that are easy to use. I even have a pouch in there. So with my pencil with the certain color markers I use for things. So I can't use those excuses of, oh, well, I can't find it. No, man, it's in your binder. Go get it. But all that to say is I take that list from Sunday and I look at the week calendar, which Sunday is not on there because Sunday is the day I only do my data dump for my head. And it's really a day I spend with my family. And so Friday through Saturday on there to where I am to find a home for all those things going on in my head. I'm talking about change the sheets, put the towels in the dryer type things, like even those little things.
This takes in every role you have, not just Color Street, all of the things.
Yes, everything. And I find a home for it. And what I find to be most critical is I need to fill in my weekly calendar with the things that have to be done. My non-negotiables, which is my family. Right now, I have a great, beautiful presentation of non-negotiables, appointments, lunch, Color Street non-negotiables. So right now, with being in the home, it completely changes every moment because my husband's upstairs working, my kids are home. It doesn't work. So my very stringent plan I used to do does not work right now where we are. And once the world opens back up, I'm going to come back to y'all and share with y'all my details on how to get back into that school routine. Go ahead, Laura.
So you had to pivot a lot, right?
Oh, I pivot every 5 minutes. And so, but what's writing with data dumping everything down and finding a home is a lot of things I realize they don't have to be done in the next 5 days. They don't have to be done today. They also don't have to be done ever. Like, do I really need to paint over my old chalkboard for better chalkboard paint on top of it? No. But the fact I got that thought onto paper and realized, okay, we can hold off on this, it allows space in my head to where I then can be productive. So when I do that on Sundays, Erin Stone literally yesterday says, so Amanda, how do you, and she asked Laura this too, like, so how do you do your team tasks?
Asking me that question.
All these things every day. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Come Sunday, and I figure out what I need to do, and then I lay in bed every morning. Like I was like at 10:50, I was in bed, not even brushed teeth. It's like, oh, 11 o'clock. It's in 10 minutes. I gotta get ready because I lay in bed and I'll do my to-do list. I'll do my planning. I'll schedule my posts the morning of because they change so regularly.
Yeah.
So each week I have an idea of what needs to be done. And so in the morning, literally every morning, before 10 o'clock, I try to write a to-do list on my team page. Now, and Erin's like, well, how do you know what it is? I go, well, literally, it is my personal to-do list. I even throw in there, change the towels out of the wash for the 5th time, please, because this is getting ridiculous.
It says change and wash all the bed sheets. That's your Monday. That's October. I was trying to find a Monday.
Yeah, so,
as an example.
So like literally, like I had put in there my personal to-do list. It all started as a joke. I was at home. My dad was really, really ill about a year and a half ago, and I was home for 6 weeks. And at the time we lived in Alaska. So when I go home, I went home for a big chunk of time. And I didn't want to get out of bed. And I wanted to really get my to-do list out because my brain was going crazy. So I was like, hey team, don't disregard this. This is just my today's to-do list. And they flipped out. They're like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Can you do this continue? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, well, no, I just did your to-do list and I feel so productive. And it's not saying I do all the things because we know like sticky notes. We do them because we write sticky notes, not saying we do all of our sticky notes. So I then took this concept and broke it down even further to where in my to-do list, it's top 10. I cover what to post on VIP page, what to post on team spaces, how to get your professional development in, and just the other random tasks that we don't realize we need to do all the time. Because I used to do samples every single day. I would write them and mail them. I would do thank you notes, write them and mail them every single day. I would do my shipping every single day. And I was spending hours doing this. And my business coach says, Amanda, you are exec level and above. You should only be spending about 15 to 20 hours a week on color shade. I go, a week or a day? Like what? She's like, yeah, no, you should be working 2 parties a week, which is about an hour and a half to 2 hours a week. And then the rest is your team stuff and your personal stuff. And that should be really it. I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean? And I was spending hours and hours and hours on these things. And I learned I can get a week's worth of thank you notes done in 10 minutes. I can get a week's worth of samples done in 5 minutes. I can get a week's worth of shipping done in probably 2 hours, if I'm being honest. Like shipping is something I hate and it takes me a lot longer to do. And so if you really, instead of doing something every single day, if you group it into days that you do them. For instance, Mondays are the start of the week. So Mondays, we fill out our schedule. We do our Manning Monday because that kicks off the week with our business. We do that personal and VIP. So I'm being very directive. I'm like, on your VIP space, post your Manning Monday. On your personal page, post your Manning Monday and just simply link your VIP group. And then I go through all these steps. So Mondays are, and I like, what's it called when it's like Manning Monday, Tip Tuesday. What's that called?
You like the daily themes to kind
like it's that. Well, it's like when it's like the first letter matches the other first letter. It's
alliteration.
Alliteration. Remember, I reading comprehension disorder. I don't know things like that.
Yeah.
So, but using alliteration that I do for my VIP space, I transformed that to my business, my leadership page as well, and my team page as well. Because I'm trying to encourage them to how to train their team and how to be duplicable, where they can duplicate what you do, whatever that word is. If that's even the word.
I think it is duplicable.
Duplicable? It just sounds, brings out, and once again, brings out my 5-year-old teacher.
Oh wait, you are a teacher.
Yeah. Give me math. And so I do sets up that for my days. So I start off with Manny Mondays, Tip Tuesdays, Wacky Wednesdays, Thankful Thursdays, Funny Fridays, Selfie Saturdays. And I share that in my VIP space and my team space, and I carry it through. I took Kelly's, I believe she does a set 6Ps or 7Ps or Rs or Qs or some checklist she does.
I think it's 6 at the point. I don't know.
Some sort of Ps, I believe. And then Rachel Snyder does another Ps type list too. So I took the best of both of them, and I filtered that into my to-do list. I made that the bones of my to-do list. And so as you start doing these and sharing these with your team or even with yourself, come today after this call, I will go and I will, yes. So I took the best of things like these things and added them to my to-do list. And once you start producing these to-do lists over a week or so, you can actually click on a Tuesday, and that Tuesday post can trigger you what it is. What I like to do is I'll do a whole month, and then I will find a Thursday what's today, the 20th, 21st? That's around that same time frame the month before. And I'll say, okay, it's the 21st of a Thursday. We need to be talking about thank you notes, be sharing our appreciation. Like Thursdays for me are all appreciation. I try to reach up to uplines, downlines, sidelines, friends, and tell them I appreciate them. I'm thankful for them. I do my thankful posts like because of Color Street, XYZ. Thursdays, I try to put my whole mindset on gratitude and appreciation. And so if I go back, I will see the 21st is, update those charts. Double check your circle of excellence tracker and see where you are. Update those goals. What do you need to do in the next 10 days to reach those goals? Because this time every month is the time we need to really buckle down and really make sure we are achieving our goals. So I try to be very intentional with my to-do list. And with that, like Thursdays is the thankful day. So that means I'm writing my thank you notes. Every online order I get thinking now I'm doing all inventory orders. So my thank you notes go in the order. So it's kind of alleviated some stress right now. But Thursdays I get caught up on all my thank you notes. Saturdays, sample Saturday, shipping Saturday, selfie Saturday. So Saturdays I'm doing all my shipping from the prior week because I use that week to pull the orders, invoice the orders, then I fill them on Saturday, they go to the post on Mondays. So when I broke it down in that way, I say I pull all my orders.
Do your customers know that you only ship once a week?
Not really, but in reality, like I'll do some specials on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays.
You just time your specials around
invoice, and I tell them I'm not Amazon Prime. I'm like, I'm little Amanda homeschooling or schooling at home, cafeteria, the house person, the wife of a working man at home. It's just crazy. Like I don't have time to go post every day. So, but for me, I put a lot of pressure on myself. So I go, okay, if you get to the post by Monday, you're good. Every Monday, try to make it to the post so that you take your stuff. Saturdays and Sundays are the days I prepare the shipping because it's a process. It's a complete process. Cause like right now because I shipped Monday, but then I had 15 more orders come in. So I have like 15 to 18 orders sitting by the back door to take to the post. I'm going to try to get there when I leave the house today or tomorrow. But so I try to keep it up, but right now it's very overwhelmed with inventory orders. So it's tweaked a lot. But I learned that if you can do all those things on certain days, you will find that you can be so much more productive. And after this, I'll write out my technical how I've broken my business into doing things on the Mondays, on the certain days. On Fridays, I train my team on Fridays, find 20 minutes over the weekend to pre-schedule all your posts. So on Friday, their job is to find that time to do the pre-scheduling. Because if we don't carve out time for something as pre-scheduling, we're not going to do it. But it's literally saying, okay, find the time right now and say Sunday at 8 o'clock, set your timer, and I'm going to spend 30 minutes pre-scheduling my post. but it's really breaking things down. And the theory behind all this is you don't have to do everything every day. You don't have to be everyone every single day. Do what you can, and what doesn't get done that day, okay, move it to the next day or move it to the next Monday. Whenever you can, get it done that way. But by getting all the stress and all the anxiety on paper, finding a home for it for the week to come, you can alleviate a lot of time and a lot of stress because you are being intentional with your time. Don't write those notes every single day. Don't send those samples every single day. I'm really only offering samples on Saturday or Sunday and then sending them that day, because it's an S, obviously you ship samples on a Saturday or Sunday, duh, and you are being intentional with your time to where you can only work those 10 hours a week. And remember, you need to be doing 2 parties a week, so you need to probably do an hour hour and a half per party max with prep and doing it and done type thing. That sounds like that's crazy, Amanda. But if you pre-schedule it, it takes 15 minutes. Then you do the interaction of, if you do the 1 hour party or 30-minute party, the interaction, then you wrap it up is another 30 minutes. But now we ship from home sometimes, so that might take a little longer, but that's on your shipping day. So breaking it all up and realizing you have much more time than you think, and you can be much more productive with your business because you're being intentional with that time. And once we get it out and take a deep breath and go, oh, that's not so much after all. And my best tip is set a timer. Anytime you're to do something, you say, I'm going to do this for 30 minutes. 30-minute increments is the max my ADD can take. Yes, I have lots of things. But I set a timer for 30 minutes for my thank you notes. And by golly, I'm probably done in 15 minutes. So set that timer. When that timer is done, stop and say, okay, I've done enough. I've done 30 minutes worth. The other ones can be done the next time I do this. Like for even when I clean my house, I set a 30-minute timer and I mad dash through the house, pick up the trash because we're messy, pick up the trash, straighten the couch, and whatever I can get done in 30 minutes, I do it. And then I stop. But be intentional with your time, because your time is so precious. And right now things are so not normal. But also, I don't want to be caught in my office all day, every day, all night long, every day, when I don't have to be. So getting it all out there is very, very good for your brain and to be intentional. So I'm going to go over real quick my words of what I do each day. So it's Mani Monday, and that can be applied to doing your manicure, posting that picture on your VIP page, and posting that on your personal page. Do not be afraid to post on your personal page. My business is booming right now, more from my personal page than my VIP page has ever done. Tuesdays are Tip Tuesdays. I do a nail care tip I'll switch it off either in my VIP page or my personal page, but then I'll swap it and I'll do a life tip in my personal or my VIP page. So meaning I'm giving some sort of information to them that's going to be helpful in their nail life or their personal life. Right now is the time to really go, hey, in this house arrest, I have found Paula Dean's banana pudding recipe. Here's the recipe. It was fun to make, easy and delicious. Here's your tip for Tuesday. Go make this and share the recipe. Give me something like that. It doesn't have to be something educational. It doesn't have to be something scientific. Just something that is different. And then I'll post nail care tip. Like, oh, you got your acrylics taken off. Let me show you how you can help with that damage right now. If I do one in personal and one in VIP, I'll swap it the next time. But both platforms, personal and VIP, are getting some sort of tip on a Tuesday. Wednesday
Sorry, Susan had a question, and I think it's a great question because this is something that can be really easy to get caught in, like a rabbit hole, and it can be a time suck. No offense, my team, my wonderful team. Her question is, when a teammate has a question, do you respond to them daily?
So
you manage the time you spend in Messenger, I guess.
My coach gets on me all the time because I do not stick by my own business hours because I'm a people pleaser and I see the question. I'm not necessarily open to question, but I see it. And then I anxiously just think about it. Think about it. She's like, Amanda, you don't have to respond immediately. You don't have to do that, because also I'm in a leadership position where I'm hoping and helping build leaders. And if my people, my stylists or my leaders see that I'm always answering questions at 2 o'clock in the morning, if I'm always posting at 10 o'clock at night, who wants to do that? Who actually will say, oh, that leadership looks so fun. I love answering rude questions at 2 a.m. Nobody likes that. So I try really hard. And I in the perfect Amanda world, I would set 30 minutes where I go in and check all my messenger questions. Laura knows that's not true. I answer messages and questions all day long, every day. But I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to leave my phone somewhere else. People have said they leave their phone in their office or on their workspace in their home when they're not doing work and they want to do other things, so they're not distracted by that. I did remove notifications where I don't have that red thing.
I was going to say that's one of the first things I did as a leader, that I had to set a boundary, and it relieved a lot of stress to not see the notification. Now, if I'm on my phone, it'll pop up once, but it won't stay there and it won't leave the red notification, and it has made a huge difference.
And I have personal enrollees who message me or text me at 11 o'clock at night, and a lot of them, I lived in Alaska for 8 years, and we've just now moved back to Texas, probably a year in August. And so they text me Alaska time, even 10 o'clock Alaska time, which is 1 p.m. and 1 a.m. my time, and I want to answer. And I'm trying really hard not to answer not personal, but like non-big group questions after like 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. Because my husband works from home, and when he's done at 5, he's done. When he's home for the weekends, he's done. I'm like, what? I want to be done? Like, no. So it's really hard to retrain my brain not to do that. And the people pleaser in me needs to know it's okay. And also, technically, my business hours, I don't work Saturday and Sunday on social media with stylists. I mean, with my friends, we'll talk or whatever, but I'm not.
You're on social media to be social.
Yes, and I'm not being stylist or leader Amanda on Saturday and Sunday. I've gotten a lot better to where I apply to those on Monday, and I for sure have stopped replying to things after 8 p.m. because, and I had a stylist, no joke, a couple weeks ago, did you change your Facebook Messenger? I go, excuse me? She goes, did you change your Facebook Messenger? I was like, it's Facebook. How do you do that? That'd be fantastic. But she was mad that I did not respond to her midnight message. Alexa, I'm not talking to you. Sorry, she's off. Sorry. And she got mad at me because I didn't respond to her 11 or midnight question. And I was like, I'm sorry, I was sleeping. And by the time I get up in the morning, if you're messaging me in the middle of the night, I have other messages already coming in. And so that's got lost in the shuffle. And she really was upset with me. And I was like, and she's not even on my team. I'm like, I just can't. Oh, echo. Hush. Off. I can't remember which names are which. Some of them are and so that really was a wake-up call to me saying I am way too available. And then when people get mad at you for not being available, something you're like, I need to do better. And so it's hard. And I ideally, yes, set a timer, answer questions in 30 minutes. But we all know that stylists or customers will message us any day, all day, every day. And I also like to give the 1 hour rule. Don't respond if you don't have to for at least
within an hour. Yeah.
And that gives you time to know how to handle the question or have the good answer for it or not get upset or not get overexcited. Even like, oh, I'm thinking about joining your team. I'm someone who will jump on and like, oh, blah, 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 and then never hear back from them. I would wait an hour, process it, figure out what I should respond with. It comes off a lot.
This goes, like you said, it goes for people interested in the business. A lot of times in the past, I would drop everything I was doing if anyone mentioned the business, because I thought if I don't respond immediately, they'll disappear. But it's not true. So even with new stylists, even with people you really want to respond to, they won't be bothered if you don't respond instantly. People realize you're not stuck by your computer. But yeah, I will say that one of the things that I did, and I was able to do this because I do have a desktop, not everyone does, but I limited my messenger responses to only when I'm at a keyboard, because I can
How do you
respond
do
so
that?
much faster. No, like I just don't respond. As much as possible, I choose not to respond to messages until I'm at a keyboard. If
Oh.
I'm on my phone, I use voice feature, which I don't love because I forget what I've said and then I have to listen to my messages over again. So I don't send a lot of voice memos, but while they are really beneficial, it's more that I just can't remember anything I said. But what I try to save messenger response for when I'm at my computer, which helps to differentiate personal time, family time from responding. So that has helped a lot, but it also kind of forces me to go into my office to do work. So it's hard because when you work from home, it's hard to divide those roles.
Especially
And
now
so
with those who are
it's a
working their 9
constant
to 5 job.
balancing act. Yeah.
When they work their 9 to 5 job at home and their color street business at home, it's even more confusing. And it's, I don't know how y'all do. I mean, I can barely, I mean, I don't think I'm going to talk to my kids in 2 weeks because I just didn't.
Amanda and I have both kind of given up.
So I mean,
Is it over yet?
yeah, today's our last day, which I don't even know what we're supposed to do for that. But it's really, especially for those who work at home right now, they're 9 to 5 in Color Street, I would do the block scheduling, and just all you need is a little pocket of time. Like if you really think about it, the max you can break up your day into little pockets to where you can find 30 minutes a day to work your business. My big goal is for my girls is to touch your business every single day. Make sure you are doing something for your Color Street business every day. It can be minimal, but once you stop showing up every day, your momentum will stop. And then when you're ready to get back at it, you have lost so much momentum, or your friends kind of forgot you're their nail girl, or you're so out of the groove that it's so much harder to get back. So if you just show up every day, even just a little bit, like doing a VIP post or personal post about the business, or send us something about your business, it can be anything, not even on social media, you'll see that with you continue with that, your momentum may not skyrocket just by touching your business one time, but it will continue to go. So when you're ready to put more time into it, you haven't lost your audience or you haven't lost your groove, and your business will continue to go on. But those who are stopping now because it's harder to be a stylist at this moment, and they're stopping like, oh, I'll pick it up when we get back to normal. Those who are stopping right now will find back to normal may never be back to, I mean, we'll be back to normal, but like the world may never be back to the normal we used to know, that we knew. And it'll be so much harder to restart. So the fact that y'all are on this call today at 11 a.m. on a Thursday speaks volume, because you're showing up for your business. Not saying this is mind-blowing information. It's just the fact that you are stepping up and you're making that choice.
There's action involved. Yeah.
And but that's where I would let you take this calendar, especially those who are working their 9 to 5 job at home. And first thing you put on there is your 9 to 5 job and the hours that you need to do for that. Then you fill in your family stuff and your appointments, and then you fill in your business. And I can show those images of a calendar that's like that. But I do think the 9 to 5, y'all need more. Y'all, I mean, you have to do your job, and that's. But it's not, I mean, it's all uncharted territory, even though we're week 10 in,
Yeah.
So I definitely understand the overwhelmingness, but just showing up and doing a little bit every day, I think can really help. And if you just pick Thursdays, you'll write your notes. Saturdays, you'll do your samples. That's pretty darn good, because you're getting that appreciation and that product to the person. And that's, the start of your business.
So I just want to say, this whole idea of doing block scheduling, for me, I resisted it for a long time. I felt like my life was different every day, and I couldn't count on things happening at the same time every day. And so I didn't want to be disappointed with my life. I didn't want to be angry at my kids because they were eating into my work time. And so I resisted it. But something I had an issue with when I started Color Street was that Color Street was more fun than my regular life. I wanted to be working, and I would work a lot. I was a workaholic, and it was like my way of escaping what my life was as a stay-at-home mom. I was really struggling enjoying my role, and so I would hide in my business, and I would spend a lot of time that I didn't need to be spending on my business. And like Amanda was saying, when someone is looking at the idea of being what you are, of joining you and doing what you do, if they see that you're working 40 plus hours a week on it, they may not be interested. That's going to be like, oh, you work that much to make this much. I don't think I want to do that. And so you have to keep that in mind. That's, that's not, you don't base all your decisions on what people see, but it's something you should keep in mind. And when I finally said, okay, for just 1 week, I'm going to try Amanda's time blocking. And I said, I didn't really, people would ask me how many hours do you work a week? And I honestly didn't know. And I was afraid to calculate it because I didn't want to be like, I work way too much. Don't do this. And so I did the schedule. This is my first one. And of course, it's in pencil because I have to be able to erase and move things around. And I said to myself, I'm going to not work more than 16 hours this week. And so I blocked out 16 hours. And anytime I had something that shouldn't take a full hour, I still put it for a full hour. And that's a good way to build in buffers, to build in breaks, to build in a time to breathe. I see there's a chat coming in. Yes, for sure, Erica. So what I found out, and Amanda kind of said this before when she talked about doing the data dump every week, what I found out was how many things didn't have to be done, that I was spending time on that I didn't mind doing. I enjoyed the work, but that really didn't have to be done. And I found out that I actually don't even need 16 hours. And so one of my vision board items, one of my goals for the year, this year, was to not work more than 10 hours a week, so that I can tell people I do my job in 10 hours a week, and so that I wasn't spending so much time. And when I saw it, now this is kind of a funny little side effect because I am a rebel. Whenever I set goals or when other people tell me to do things, I rebel against it. It's my nature. I'm not proud of it. I don't like it, but it's what I do. Like, my natural instinct is to resist. And so even just seeing my work hours on here, I would get to that time and I would say, do I really have to work right now? Is there anything right now that has to be done? And I started eliminating things. And so my natural desire to work all the time and escape my life all the time, suddenly, because it was written down that I had to do it, I was like, you know what? I really don't have to. Those things, they don't need to be done, or they can be done quicker, or I can, combine it into less time. And so for me, that was a kind of a weird side effect where it actually helped me work less, even though I thought I wanted to work more.
Well, and that's exactly what my coach said too. She's she does a lot within the direct sales industry. And she says, you should only be working 10 to 15 hours a week at your level. And I was like, excuse me? But then looking back, when I started Color Street, I was a full-time preschool teacher, and I could only work my business Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. every night. And then on Fridays, it was my day off at work. So I would try to work a good chunk either on Friday or Saturday. So I was really probably only working 10 hours, 12 hours a week. And I was able to hit executive. I joined in June. And then the when did I hit? Well, I think within the year I hit exec, within 9 months hit exec from working my business constantly 2 hours a night. That's also before I did block scheduling, where I was doing those silly samples every single day, But now I'm thinking, if I would have done this back then, I would have saved so much more time and still got where I was, so I was doing the tasks correctly. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so this was like, for those who work at home, I'll share these images with y'all, but all this stuff is like non-negotiables, appointments. The yellow, and this was a real week for me last year. The yellow was the times I had that I quote unquote could work Color Street. And I would find out that some of these days I didn't do when I only had little things. I would work those 2 main days where the main yellow is and work 3 days that week and get everything done for that week then, but when you map out your day and you put your 9 to 5, your family stuff down first and find the gap. That's why I highlight them, because I like to see the gaps I have.
Mm-hmm.
And you realize, I don't even have to work that much, but I
Well,
can.
and it keeps you from sneaking away and trying to share those other times, because multitasking is a myth. It doesn't actually work. So anyway, let's just do like 2 more minutes. Does anyone have any questions for Amanda?
Sorry, that's kind of all over the place. I'm normally more organized,
awesome.
but the topic right now with at-home arrest is a lot different.
You can either unmute yourself or raise your hand and I can unmute you. No? Everybody good? Well, thank you so much for doing this for us. I really appreciate it.
And I'll send you this as an image and y'all can see what I'm talking about too. If anything else, like, let Laura know if y'all have a question or want to see something or some way I do a task, and I'm happy to send it over.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining, everybody.